Colonial masters took everything they could find. They used horses, boats, steam engines, railroad, and slaves. They loaded all into big ships and took it across the ocean to image himself. That was 230 years ago. Now they're coming back for more. What? They find something that they forget? They didn't leave us here back then. No, we escaped down Runaway Creek into the heart of the forest. For 2 centuries now, Manatee has been my family's home. Far away from world commerce, we are the caretakers.
It's a easy village, quiet, peaceful. Everything's like free. You have your boat, you take your boat, you go and fish, go and cut the jungle anyway and plant some crops, you know. And my family is from here. I'm born and grow here. All my life I've been here. Don't want to go anywhere. I do sports fishing and I like my job. We don't know much about this Vulcan thing, what's going on, you know. All we hear, Vulcan, Vulcan. It's a rich company. And you know, where money is involved, people say want to jump on it. But we don't really know the background of it as yet.
It is a real remote village, but with this road coming, it's going to change everything. We have new people with business that have business ideas and interests. One being the mining company that is called Vulcan. Before we knew we were going to have a road, they entertained the thought. They came to us as the village council, and proposed the idea of this mining project. We, of course, were somewhat interested because there was some potential job opportunities. So we listened to it. They came in. They did a lot for a December for us because maybe 17 guys were working up on the mountain making good money, doing very hard laborious work, heavy poles and things up, because what they were doing was drilling, doing 10 test holes to drill to see if this mountain called Sugar Hill is going to be the quality and the quantity that they need to make money for 30 to 40 years. They came and did this testing with a drilling company from Colombia. We worked very well with them. We actually provided food from the village for them and things like that. That was the understanding, that it was only going to be Sugar Hill. They were going to always use our guys. Whenever there was work around here, we want to be involved because we need the labor. So they did that the first round. Then all of a sudden we find out they're doing another drilling, but they didn't talk to the village council. They drilled the next couple. Well, now that they're drilling over there, and they're drilling into not just carbonite rocks, which are limestone, but they're also drilling into granite rocks. They said they were never going to do that. Then they started bringing in other people from other parts of the country, using our guys less and less, using our food from the village less and less. So over time, we're realizing they kind of just came in to maybe get us on their side, and then we can see that it's not really a future situation because they haven't been in good communication with us to really show that they're going to partner with us if this is going to happen. We can't get anything in writing as to, we're going to help you guys with this. We can't, you know.
Moses and Jean can take you back in there. He will show you birds that didn't exist anymore anywhere else. Yes, they can fly free in those hills. He will show you the jaguar's tracks, the peccary tracks, and explain the circle of life, how it's all work together.
When you get to Sugar Valley, you see Liki, you see Belize, you see Danguga. You think? That's after 2 years I take. I tell you no lie, my brother. So when I hear they want to take down Sugar, I say, man, who that not some Caracol. You think? I don't like that idea. I know that a place for tourists that people want to see. You want to go up the hill. You think? I just clear the road up at top, you dig up there. And you see the whole universe, the whole of Belize, sky high, 11,000 feet high, you know.
It begins and ends with the water. The rain falls on the hills. It flows into the rivers and creeks. It has been in the underground lakes, giant aquifers inside those hills. For 1 million years, it flows into the valleys, across the savannas, into the lagoon. These lagoons breathe life into the barrier reef. The reef makes oxygen that everyone needed just to breathe. How you even gonna breathe when you take it all away?
I think that development is like I said, I think development is inevitable when you're building a road, but there's a threat if it's affecting the natural surroundings, because people not only live off of the natural environment, it's something we all need. The property that Vulcan is proposing to purchase, which is not already a done deal, as they would have you believe, it's a contingency contract. But that property is smack dab in the middle of two reserves, and they're reserves for a reason. And I could name 15 critically endangered species that will be affected that live here.
Ultimately, we're worried about the pollution that could come, our water sources right here. We have geothermal activity here that warms a spot out here that the manatee hang around and breed, because it's always a certain temperature, so there's always grass, so they always have their babies there. Something could disrupt that geothermal activity. Mining is potentially exactly what we don't need here.
I understand you're running cattle to Mexico. So you leave it the money when they give away. That's not help we. Money want done, then hill gone. Look how when you get up in the morning, the beauty, look and see the hill.
Did you know that our lagoon, Belize's Southern Lagoon, has been designated by the United Nations as a IUCN Category 4 Wildlife Sanctuary? Yes, man, that is a big deal. There are not many of those sanctuaries in the world. Here at Manatee, it is one of the finest, but got no rangers, no police to watch and protect these wild sanctuaries. So it is up to us, the people of Gales Point, Manatee, yes, and the people of Belize, to be the caretakers.
My point at which I switched from seeing this as potentially jobs for us is when I found out that a lot of the jobs are going to be skilled college-level jobs, engineering jobs. There's actually not going to be a whole lot of non-skilled jobs available.
If they come in, well, I was told very clearly to me it was no uncertain terms, that there wouldn't be jobs for villagers on any kind of long-term basis. If Vulcan comes in, they're going to probably put me out of business. There are 2 other resorts out on the beach that are going to have a hard time staying, because if they put a conveyor belt out to a sea turtle nesting ground where they're moving rock, then who's going to want to stay there to go relax in the Caribbean next to a conveyor belt of rock making noise?
Well, water access in the area will likely be disrupted by mining processes. The villagers are skeptical that those activities will contaminate the existing aquifers. At the moment, the village is drinking water from a nearby river, contaminated with E. coli and runoff from farms upstream.
I just want them to don't even think about taking down the limestone, you know.
Gales Point have the mountains, you have the river, you have the lagoon, and you have the sea, 4 things in one.
You're talking about basically a biocorridor that connects all of the different habitats. A friend of mine and I were just talking about, she teaches guiding and is a naturalist, that there are 7 different habitats right in this area. And this is probably the only place on Earth where that is happening.
We have the hawksbill, we have the loggerhead, and we have the green turtle that nests on this beach. The green turtle nests more south, the loggerhead nests more north, and the hawksbill nests all over this beach. And what we learn about these turtles, sometimes they use more than one nesting ground in a country. Some of these turtles that are nesting here are not originally turtle from here. They are original turtle that used to use area maybe out in the Keys and different parts, but due to erosion and due to dredging, their habitat destroyed and they find themselves here. And when they find themselves here, they start to use our beach because this is an ideal and a perfect spot for them. When we're talking about the culture of Gales Point, you're talking about the fire sambai, the Brahmin, and the King Dola. Those 3 things that make up Gales Point, you know. The oldest Kriol community in the country, and everybody, I want to pay attention to Gales Point history, because it's the strongest history, oldest Kriol community. Just don't forget us.
When I was introduced to the concept by UNUMA, They were bragging about how they were going to make this just like Playa del Carmen, and that the model that they were going to use was just like Playa del Carmen, what they did in Playa del Carmen. So after they left, I started to do my research, which is my strength, and I came upon a documentary film called Erosion by Raul Padilla. They have a certain methodology that they use to get into a place, and what they say, just like in Playa del Carmen and Calica Mine, I think they get very, very well-trained environmental attorneys that know how to usurp the laws. You get into a country like Belize that's small and has never met with this type of polluter before. I mean, UNUMA, the scouts that they sent out in the beginning, were bragging that they represent Exxon. You've got all of the national symbols of this country: tapir, black orchid. I've seen every kind of toucan out in that area just on one birding trip. Instead of there being a natural course of increasing amount of jobs, there will be none, and this place will wither and die. You know, with climate change, we are in a position to be, it's supply and demand. We have all the trees here. Why would we give that up when that's the thing that's going to be in the most demand? They're going to come in, rob out our natural resources, take them out, and leave the mess.
We do not need to be creating pollution and actually destroying the trees that are helping the rest of the world with the climate problem that we're having right now. I foresee Vulcan being a company that tells a tale but isn't really giving us the full picture, because as we study other communities that may have had the same situation and the same things going on, we can see that they didn't really follow through on a lot of their promises.
This mine, this danger, it is not just our problem. It's go far behind Manatee and Belize. It is the world's problem. So we must tell them. Nobody knows. Tell them. Speak up.
Once upon a time, Nancy and Fire are a very good friend, you dig? So every evening, Nancy go to a firehouse and he hear fire, and it's coast, right? So Nancy say, fireman, where they go on? Every evening I come look for you. Why you can't come look for me? Dig? Fire say, Nancy, I no walk. When I walk, I'm in trouble, you know? So Fire say, Nancy, the only way I can come look for you, you have to go up Manatee River and cut all the dry cocoon leaf and lay for your house to my house, right? So Nancy go up Manatee River and he cut all the dry cocoon leaf and lay from your house to firehouse, right? The fire say, I can look for you now, Nancy. When fire get halfway, Nancy tell fire, turn back. Fire say, Nancy, I can't turn back. Fire gone and burn down Nancy's house.